Today I'm going to be going over my sheep brain dissection. This brain has already been dissected, of course, so I'm just going to go over kind of the anatomy and some of the aspects of what things do in our brain and how they work and where they're located. To start things off, the meninges of this brain have already been removed, and that's kind of like a mucousy film-like cover that would normally be surrounding the brain. It just kind of keeps everything safe and protects the brain. So that has been removed from this example here. And then I'm actually going to flip the brain over to the dorsal side and cover some of the aspects that we would see on the dorsal side. So here we have the spinal cord, and then we've got our medulla oblongata in this area here. And the medulla controls our heart rate, our breathing, our digestion, things we don't really have to think about to be able to do. And then moving upwards, we have the pons, which is involved in the control of our breathing. It's going to be in this area here. And then we've got our midbrain, which functions in our motor movement, kind of right by that pons there too. And then in this brain, the optic nerve has actually been removed, but it would be right up in this region here. And then if we follow, there are kind of these whitish areas up here. That would be the olfactory bulbs of this brain. And then we've got our frontal lobes here. And kind of all these dark lines that you see around the brain, those are going to be the gyrus of the brain. So I flipped it over, and now we have the cerebellum. That kind of coordinates our balance and coordination. And then we are actually going to open it up here and take a look at what's inside the brain. So to start things off, we have the third ventricle, which is going to be kind of this tract right here. You can kind of see that there. And then I'm going to go into the dicephalon area, and two main parts of that are going to be the thylamus and the hypothalamus. So the thylamus is going to be this circular area here. And what the thylamus does is it regulates our sleep and consciousness cycle. And then below our thylamus is going to be the hypothalamus. And then we have our cerebrum as well, which is kind of this whole portion here. And then moving on, we have our septum pellucidum, which is almost kind of inside that third ventricle. It's like the darker region that you would see in there. And then, of course, we would have our olfactory bulbs right up here. And then we've got our midbrain and our pons again. The central canal is actually going to be kind of inside the spinal cord. So I don't know if we can really get a good look. But that's where the central canal would be located. And then we have a fourth ventricle, which is going to be down by the cerebellum. It's again going to be kind of a tract. You can kind of see there. And then we have our cerebral aqueduct. That is going to be kind of inside if you were to follow along that fourth ventricle. Would be in there as well. And then we have our superior colossus, which is going to be right kind of above that pons in this area. And we have our pineal body, which is located kind of right next to the thylamus there in this area. It's kind of hard to see all the landmarks on this brain, but hopefully I've kind of covered a good understanding of where things are located, and kind of cool to see firsthand where everything's at, and kind of put a location to all the terms we've been learning. So that is my sheep brain dissection for anatomy and physiology lab.